So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, Latchkey Kids and Driving Mutants. How is everyone doing this Friday? We made it through another week. This is in the way. Let me turn that like that. There, that's better. I don't see anyone in the chat. I mean, I see people there, but I don't see any messages to see who's here. Hey, Tony T. Let me put that up on the screen, saying hello to everyone. Tony Man 100 says, I'm trying to place the cosplay. Oh, it's not, this light is actually too bright. I look pale. Let me do that. That's better. It's actually not like a specific cosplay. It's just 80s, because both shows we're talking about today came out in the 80s. I took all the time to put all these bracelets on in rings. Swoop Like Me says, hey now. And K&M Lover says, howdy. I'm going to try something a little different, and I hope I don't get dinged. If I do get dinged, I'll start another stream and come and pop back on. But before I get started, I want to show you guys something. Let me share the screen again. On my page, when you go to what did I just watch, it has home, it has video, it has playlists, and then there's also, oh, it's not showing it. There we go. It also has the community tab. On the community tab, I usually post about what's going on. So this past week, I posted, let's see, let's go through the post. For Thursday, I posted the first 5 minutes of Hellbound so everyone could see the intro to that season of Hellbound. Then I posted the link to watch the first episode of The Hitchhiker, and I also posted the link to watch the second episode of The Hitchhiker on there. And then I also share like other creators' content. TTFT, they did a review of Dead Presidents, and as you can see, they're dressed up like the characters from Dead Presidents. I shared Dorian Gray, These Kings Want It All song. Also shared Tina Turner, a segment from the Tina Turner musical in London where Chanel Haynes is singing Simply the Best, and she is doing a phenomenal job. And I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that just because she's my cousin. She is my cousin, but she's also awesome. Just so y'all know, I'm very proud of her and inspired by her, and y'all should go check that out. But if you're not getting these notifications, I think what you have to do is hit the notification bell, because I'm seeing not a lot of interaction with those. But just so you know, I put those there so that you know what's going on or what's coming up on the show. Tony Man says, "Are you headphones around the skull? I can't. Oh, you can't hear anything? Uh-oh. Hang on a second. So I've been talking for like 5 minutes and nobody can hear anything. All right, hang on. Let me go into my settings and see what's going on here. I'm just using my regular headphones. Let me check my audio test. Okay, and the indicator is showing that my microphone is working. Let me go out of there. Okay. Okay. Tony T says audio is good here. K&M Lover says I can hear you. No, you have headphones on the skull. Oh, you're talking about these headphones. Yeah, these headphones are on this skull. Let me show you why. These headphones are on this skull because I paid like $5 for these, and they light up and everything. I got them from Five Below, and they don't connect to my computer. They're wireless headphones that don't work. But since they were only $5, it's like they're costing more gas money to take these back to the store and exchange them or return them than to just keep them. So that's why they're up here on this skull as decoration now. Somebody says it was a horrible joke. That's okay. But to ask another question, how did everyone's week go before I get going? I'm borrowing something from one of my friends. I have a friend that co-hosts. Well, actually, it's his show, pretty much, that he started. His name is Jay, and he hosts Hood Podcast. And once a week, he's been doing kind of like a mental health care check with people to see how everybody's doing. And I'm borrowing that from him, considering the week. So, how is everyone doing this week? Hey, Terrence. Thumbs up for this great lady. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I didn't realize I wasn't full screen when I showed those headphones. So I'll show it again. Hopefully I won't knock over my purge mask. Stay there. Okay, it's going to fall over. Tony Man was talking about these headphones. Showing them again. I got these headphones from Five Below. The ears light up. They're wireless headphones, but they don't connect to my laptop, so I have not been using them. And I just put them on the skull for decoration. And because they only cost $5, I did not take them back to the store because it will cost me about as much gas money to take them back or return them. So that's why they're on the skull. There we go. Tony says, my week was good and I saw Demons on 4K and the colors were amazing. Thinking about getting Suspiria. I did not know that they released Demons in 4K. That's got to look amazing. Especially the scene when they're coming into the theater with their eyes glowing. Oh, I have to find that. That is amazing. Terrence says, as a foreigner, I don't feel it's my place to give my take on gun violence. Oh, you don't have to. I was just asking people if they were okay because it's a stressful thing to go through. And we all, I mean, anyone that has any inkling of sense knows that we're pretty much the only industrialized country that has this issue. So, I mean, I didn't want to talk about the politics of it. I just wanted to um, just say a word to let people know if you are feeling upset this week, it's understandable and it's okay to be in your feelings. It's just, one of those things, unfortunately. Tony Man says, my days blend into each other. That's true. Is anyone else experiencing this thing during this time period where it feels like time is moving by so fast? Like the weeks just, like a lot of times I don't even know what day it is unless I look at the calendar. Terrence says, but it has been an ongoing cycle, it seems, from my point of view. Yes, it most certainly has. Is that the newspaper from Day of the Dead in the background? Yeah, it's actually a recreation. I got it at a comic book shop here in Orlando. The top, let me see if I can take it off this. Yeah, it says The Living Dead Times, The Dead Walk. I went to a comic book shop here in Orlando, and they just had these papers sitting by the door, and they were free. It actually it says downtown Fort Myers, Florida, weekend of October 20th, 2012. Here we go. And Terrence says, "Okay, understood." All right, let's get into the first episode of the Hitchhiker. It was very interesting rewatching this as an adult. I didn't remember it being so sexy. I really don't. There you go. The first episode of season 1 from 1983 is called Shattered Vows. We have a couple more comments before I move on. Tony says, as a foreigner, I, for one, would love to hear it. I'm tired of the same drivel here in the United States, Terrence. And The Day of the Dead was filmed in Florida also. I did not know that. Now, you think that's something I should know, but I did not know that. Okay, here we go. We're going to try something, and hopefully I do not get kicked off the stream. We'll try it. If I get kicked off the stream, I'll make another stream immediately and pop up back up. But I want to see if I could play at least the intro. That is true. He does. I did not notice it. Well, when I first watched this, I was like 8 or 9 years old, so I wasn't thinking that way. But yeah, now that you say it, K&M Lover, I can't stop looking at it. Oh, let me play the actual intro. Okay, cool. I think that, wait, let me put this on the screen so everybody can see that comment. That's what I was just now responding to. And yes, he does have an amazing behind. And Terrence says, I've never seen the Hitchhiker, although I would pick him up just to ask how he got his hair like that. I think, as someone who still remembers the 80s, even though I was a kid, I'm going to say round brush, hair dryer, and hairspray.
Jeff Boder's not a bad guy, but ambition can take people places they wouldn't usually go. No matter how good a skier he is, this time he's in water way over his head.
Okay, I'm going to pause it so I don't tempt fate too damn much. Tony Man says, sexy. So the Hitchhiker was like a Skinamax for women. Um, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think he probably was. I'd have to look it up, but I think he probably was a sex symbol in the 80s. But speaking of Skinamax, the Hitchhiker did originally debut on Cinemax, and that's why I'm gonna have to skip through this because there's a lot of nudity. So I obviously I can't play the whole episode, but I will play like different scenes. It originally aired on Cinemax, but it was rebroadcasted in an edited version on USA. So there's a group of people that probably don't know how sexy the original Hitchhiker episodes were. When I mean sexy, I mean like I just watched the first 2 episodes as an adult, and there's a lot of sex scenes and a lot of nudity, which I am all for. I enjoy that. I just was saying that I didn't remember it being like that. But like I said before, when I first saw this series, you know, I was told to cover my eyes during certain scenes, and I didn't know what I was covering my eyes for because I was a little kid. Now I know why. This episode is about this young dude that he marries an older woman, and he's pretty much a gold digger. Like he really just is marrying her for her money and to, I guess, get into a better situation. At the very beginning, what you're looking at on the screen are these, I guess, wedding cake topper dolls that his grandmother has given him to put on the top of the wedding cake. And when the grandmother talks, she sounds like she may be from like Eastern Europe somewhere. And there's something mystical about these cake toppers. Whatever happens to the cake toppers happens to the couple in real life. Terrence says, I'm getting mullety right now. Believe it or not, mullets are coming back in style. I'm seeing young people with them again, and it's I don't know how I feel. On the one hand, it's kind of cute, and the other hand, it's kind of horrifying. Tony Man says he could have at least tried to make a bulge. Pants so tight I could see he's circumcised. Remember Dream On that had a bit of nudity in it? I don't remember Dream On. I'll have to check it out, though. I'll have to look for it. I'll probably remember it once I see it, because there's certain shows that I forgot existed until, like, the other day, maybe it was like a month ago, my sister brought up Mork and Mindy, and I had completely forgotten that show existed until she brought it up again. That and Perfect Strangers. For that time, it was an oddity. Yes. So let me see if we can fast forward a little bit. Well, maybe I can let the grandmother talk a little bit.
It's sacred. Grandma, for 40 years you worked in one of those big houses. 40 years, and now your grandson's gonna go and live in one.
If you are happy, my Jeffrey, then I am satisfied.
So you see right there what his modus operandi is. K&M Lover says, this was a US, Canadian, French production. Most of the seasons were filmed in Canada, but the last was filmed in France. Many big stars guest starred on the show over the years. Yeah, as I was looking for these episodes, I saw some screenshots where, in the screenshots, what did I see? Oh, his name is escaping me. He played the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, and he was in Willem Dafoe. Yeah, I saw Willem Dafoe in one of the screenshots. I can't remember the other actors I saw, but I was scrolling through and looking at the episode listings, and I saw a lot of it. This show is kind of like, in a way, if you guys remember watching Miami Vice, if you go back and you watch the old episodes of Miami Vice, there's so many huge actors that like their first role was on there. I was recently watching a clip where Ben Stiller was playing some guy that just worked at the mall and he was talking really fast. There was just so many actors that we know of, super famous now, had little tiny roles in Miami Vice. Well, I should say there are no small roles, only small actors. Terrence says, Rich Man, Poor Man is one of my faves. That and the original Sybil with Sally Field. I have not seen Sybil, but I do remember the poster and the artwork for the movie Sybil. So we're going to fast forward it to... I think I can only play a little bit of this before they get naked. That's the older woman that he is marrying. And I'm only showing you this because there's an important plot point concerning her bird that's in the room. Now you see that that's her bird. And then I'm going to... Let's see how far I can get before it gets too... Okay, then I got to just jump forward. Now, she has a daughter. This is the introduction of the daughter, who he ends up having an affair with.
Sweater. We went shopping.
Hi, Jackie. Sorry I'm late. The plane was delayed in Rome.
This is some more hair amazement. But Final Net is a mofo.
Really paid off.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, I like you already. You're ambitious and you're really scoring. And Jackie, as usual, is getting more than she deserves.
In case you haven't noticed, this is my shy stepdaughter, Pamela.
Let's hope the fourth one lasts longer than the poor creatures that have come before. Huh? To my new stepfather.
That little moment to my new stepfather. If you don't see that, her flirting with your husband. Oh, she does see it. She just doesn't care. This house is cool as hell when you think of that. Like, he's in a sauna that's next to the pool with a view of the pool. All right, I'm gonna have to fast forward again because it's another scene where he gets with the daughter in the hot tub. So we'll go to the wedding and you'll see what happens with that figurine.
Husband.
And shout out to her crimping her whole head. That takes hours to do. I did it one time in middle school. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to crimp my hair for a 7:30 school. And Terrence, since you are the resident music person, does this not sound like they wanted to get Marvin Gaye Sexual Healing, but they couldn't get it, so they made this track that sounds similar?
You're so handsome, it isn't fair keeping them all to yourself.
Be my guest. Watch that pretty little ass of yours, or whatever trust fund you have, might suddenly dry up. Be a good boy.
She really knows how to turn the knife, doesn't she?
She was only teasing. What was that about your trust fund?
She controls it. I don't get a dime unless she says so. Of course.
All right, I'm going to pause it to read some comments. Tony Man says, off topic, please tell me you heard about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey horror movie. I saw a still from that on Twitter. I don't know if the trailer's out yet, but it looks interesting. I don't know what to think of it, though. It looks kind of creepy. Julia Roberts, Steve Buscemi, John Leguizamo all appeared in Miami Vice. Yes, they did. And more. Like, every time I watch it, it's like, hey, it's that person. Yes, I heard about that, Tony. And Terrence says, how did that get past Disney? It could be part of Disney, because Disney does make horror sometimes. They make it under there's a Disney subsidiary company. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, that they make rated R content. Tony C says 80s hair was always amazing. Yes. I still remember being in middle school. I remember being in 7th grade and seeing the 8th grade, some of the 8th grade girls in the bathroom. And in our bathrooms, because some of them were close to the school pool, they had these hair dryers. So they would be in the bathroom holding their hair with a vent brush. They would spray it with Final Net, hold the hair with a vent brush, and then hold the hair dryer out to it so their hair stuck out like this. I need to introduce you to some real classic UK shows, Shasha, ones I am certain you will adore. I would appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, it does sound like Marvin. Love the music video of that when his blood pressure goes up when he ogles this woman. I still love the way the women looked in that video with the leotard bodysuits and the kerchief skirts. That just looks so gorgeous to me. When I asked about the cosplay, you should have said this isn't a costume, it's a way of life. Oh, I should have said that. You think it's a freaking costume? It's a way of life. Bring back the Jerry curl to the beat of the Rhythm of the Night dance until the morning light. Yeah, I was about to mention Jerry curls because that same year in middle school, while European American girls were doing their hair like this, since I already have curly hair, all I would do is put some, actually, I still have some of this gel because I use it on some of my cosplay wigs. This LA Looks gel. I still use this. This is what I used to put in my hair in middle school, and it would make my hair look like I have a Jerry curl, just because I already have naturally curly hair. So I would cover my whole head in this. But one time at the end of the school year, we had a school trip to Six Flags. At the time, it wasn't called Six Flags. It was called Riverside Park in Massachusetts, but now it's called Six Flags. But it started raining, and the gel started dripping down my face, and it burned my eyes so bad. So I'm walking around with my eyes burning because the hair gel is dripping down into my eyes. By the way, it wanes. I'm not sure what you mean. That might be a typo. My bad. Okay. Let's go back into this.
Her premature passing could change all of that.
That's not funny, not even as a joke.
Maybe not. But it could make life a lot better for both of us.
Now, here's the thing that gets me. Who lights candles on a wedding cake? That's like birthday cake stuff.
Meet me at the beach. I want to talk to you later.
I couldn't do that to a married man.
What's the difference? As long as we both want each other.
It makes a big difference.
Don't go back to Rome. I'll find a way for both of us to be happy.
I agree. Yes, it did kill Afro Sheen. No, it did not kill Afro Sheen. Still use it.
You're burning up.
You're really sweating. Are you all right?
The skin's burning up. Feel it?
No.
Let's get some fresh air. Jackie. Jackie. Mrs. Blackman, please get my bag.
So you see, whatever happens to the wedding cake toppers happens to them. So what he does, because he's a gold digger, he concocts a plan where he can use the wedding cake topper to try to get rid of his new wife, and so that he can run away with the daughter. And his plan, well, let me see if I could show it to you. Let me see if I can fast forward. That's them plotting and planning and scheming. Here we go. Let's see what comments we have here. Amazing the power of cinema. This is Bruce Greenwood in the guest starring role. Really good actor. Cool. And Terrence says, I thought it was Michael Dudikoff. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can advance it just a little bit. Yeah, I think right there is good.
Probably.
Okay. I'll read that aloud in a little bit.
Quick, run to the beach. Get Dr. DeVries.
Dr. DeVries! Dr. DeVries! Come quick! Come quick! Mrs. Winslow can't breathe!
Don't drop the tag. Get this thing off me.
What an evil little daughter. Okay, let's look into here. I'm going to bring this back up so I can read it aloud. The Pooh horror movie comes from A.A. Maline's book, Becoming Public Domain. It comes from Jagged Edge Productions. They also made The Curse of Humpty Dumpty and Legend of Jack and Jill. I actually have The Curse of Humpty Dumpty saved on my watch list on Tubi. It's there for free. There's also a movie called Jack in the Box that's on Tubi, and it's sequel also. And I think both of those are on Amazon Prime for free too. Had to do my research really quick. Terrence says about time Peter Pan became a slasher. He sort of already is, because when I think, if I remember correctly, he takes the Lost Boys and sometimes he puts them on his island to die. So, I mean, it's kind of dark. He has a creepy shadow and he's away with the fairies. Yeah, that's another thing. From what I'm learning about Irish folklore, a lot of fairies are evil. I might have mentioned this. I think I did a video where I was talking about leprechaun and about how a leprechaun is a type of fairy. And my sister told me a story about this type of Irish fairy that if it cuts your shadow out, you die. It's really interesting. K&M Lover says, LOL, Dudikoff and Greenwood would have blonde hair in common, but that's about it. Did the Hitchhiker have anything to do with the series, or was he a wandering Rod Serling? He basically was a wandering Rod Serling type character. He is like, really, when you think about it, I think he has more in common with the Crypt Keeper than Rod Serling even. Well, no, I would say Rod Serling, because sometimes at the end of the episodes, he'll come back and say his little 2 cents like Rod Serling did. But then the Crypt Keeper does that as well. So, yeah, same type of host, I guess. The main actress who plays the daughter was in a horror slasher film called Sweet 16, and she played the killer. I've seen Sweet 16. I've only seen it one time, but I've seen it. I used to confuse it a lot with the movie Graduation. I don't know if they came around the exact same time or whether I'm just putting them together because the time that I rented them was around the same time. But I always pair Sweet 16 with Graduation, which is another slasher movie. Who wears a scuba breather outside the water? He did, because you see, whatever happens to the the figurines happened to the real people. And since he was trying to ice his new wife, he suffocated her by having the daughter put that globe over it. While she was suffocating, he was breathing in the scuba gear. Why does he still have the oxygen in his mouth? Yeah, same question. Yeah, he was, because whatever, like I said, whatever happens to the figurines happens to him. So he was suffocating. Well, he would have suffocated with his new wife if he didn't have the scuba gear on. So he planned this out with the daughter. I only found out recently I have full-on Irish blood, which is cool. Very cool. Toy Man. He was the Rod Sterling of the show, K&M says. Capri, hey, welcome to the stream, Capri. How are you doing? Capri says, speaking of the Lost Boys, that was a really great 80s movie. Yes, it was. Terrence says the oiled up sax man was the bomb. I can hear, just by you saying that, I can hear the saxophone riff that he plays in my head and start singing I Still Believe. He went on to tour with Tina Turner for many years. Capri says he was, I agree. Okay, I'm going to go forward to how this ends because they're all good. They think they got it done. They think that they're going to live happily ever after because they, iced her mother. This is I'll play a little piece of the funeral. That's directly after the funeral.
Mrs. Blackman, I'd really like to be alone if you don't mind. Let's give everybody the week off with pay.
And so they're trying to get it. And remember that bird that I showed you at the beginning? Okay, I might have to fast forward this. I'm not trying to get kicked off YouTube for indecency. Oh, shit. I had to fast forward through that. Okay. Make sure there's no. Okay. This part is really cool. When he goes down the stairs.
Jeff Boder wanted too much, much too much. He tried to step way up and stumbled into hell.
Okay. There's the cast. So let's settle this. It was Bruce Greenwood. You can see it right. Actually, let me make this. You can see it right under page Fletcher. You see Bruce Greenwood. So that settles that argument of who the actor was. Let's go to the comments. Let me see what you guys are saying. Tim Capello is the sax man. Right? Tina sax man. Tony Man says, nice. Capri says, by the way, RP to the late, great Corey Haim. Yes, definitely. It's sad what happened to him and how unfortunately he went out. I feel really bad for him about that. K&M Lover says, I met Tim Capello at a horror convention. Super nice guy and still huge. Wow. Aaron says, that was cool. Did not see that coming. I didn't either. Like, I just thought he was going to fall down the stairs and break his neck or something. I didn't imagine that he was going to, like, literally turn to porcelain and crack apart. So that was from what I looked up, that's the very first episode of Hitchhiker that premiered in 1983. What's interesting is the first season only has 3 episodes. I didn't think the second episode was as good as the first episode. I do have it here. Let me see if I can. I'm going to jump through that one really, really fast because less happens. It's more kind of drawn out. I'm going to hit up some of these comments again. Tony Man says that was a pretty cool story. Tony C says that looks like if it were on Night Gallery. Yeah, I would compare the two, definitely. Feldman is still making bomb-ass music videos. You know you lied, right? I mean, maybe you meant to say he makes music videos that bomb. I love Corey Feldman. He's still trying to do his best Michael Jackson impersonation, which, more power to him, but it's not good. It's not good, Corey. I think you should be more yourself and less trying to be Michael Jackson. I always thought the intro was spooky. Yeah, there's something in the music that's kind of, how do I describe it? It's like an instrument that doesn't sound quite right. It's like when you try to play horror. I used to play violin as a kid, and what we used to do to make that horror violin sound is usually when you're playing the violin and you take the bow and you go back and forth like this. But to get the horror sound, you take the bow and go back and forth like this instead of back and forth like this. So it sounds like they're doing something similar to make the instrument sound distorted. It's kind of a flock of seagulls he has. And I ran so far away. If this came out now, it'd be called The Uberer. Foreboding, Terrence says. So in this episode, the hitchhiker actually gets picked up. So we'll go right here.
Where are you going? Down the road, as far as I can get tonight. Hop in. Thanks.
I love it. Bobby. Yeah, if you're into today's music, I'm on top of it. Goes along with the job. You know what I mean? What are they talking about?
The hitchhiker is not going to get naked, but the driver eventually does. But it being YouTube, I'm going to have to fast forward past that part.
She knows. But the chicks, yeah, she knows. Not who, when, or where. She knows. She understands my needs.
You see that state mental institution for women?
Well, we are. What are you going to do?
Hang around, see what's happening.
That's it.
Well, listen. Thanks for the lift. I'll see you around.
Yeah, see you around.
This slow zoom in.
Hey, how you doing? Good.
Attention all units. APB, Washington State. Anne-Marie Brown, 5'7", blonde, wearing light colored t-shirt, green shorts, and hiking boots. Incarcerated for 5 separate counts, murder 1. Weapon used, knife. M.O., single incision on neck.
Bob Ames thinks he's got the world on a string. Thinks he's got everyone figured out. But the sky is charged tonight. And it can sometimes boil the blood and fog the mind.
Okay, so the long story short, Charles ends up going to his cabin, but there's some lady in his cabin. And at first he's like, who the hell are you? But then he ends up getting with her, and then he hears that radio report again. Let's see how much of that I can. Yeah, he finds this lady in his cabin.
Look, I am a trespasser, and this is your place. I was out hiking in the woods, and it started to rain like crazy, so...
Okay. No problem.
Well, imagine if you'd been a robber, and you found me here half naked.
So then, let me see, I'm going to fast forward past... Yeah, it's her getting naked, so... I think right here I can play. Because there was a full-on sex scene.
You're just teasing me. Admit it, you never had it like this before.
Stop talking.
Not until you tell me how good it was.
Okay. It was better than that.
The Raleigh State Mental Institution for Women reports the escape early this morning of Anne-Marie Brown. She was wearing a light-colored t-shirt, green shorts, and hiking boots. She was incarcerated for 5 counts of murder for having cut her lovers' throats with kitchen knives. Brown is 5'7" tall, has short blonde hair. Anyone knowing the
Oops. Did not mean to show that. Oh God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I'm gonna have to age gate this video. I'm gonna have to, after I finish, I'm gonna put the 18 restriction on it. So he hears that and he starts tripping because he's like, oh my God, I think she's the escaped person.
See what the police have to say about this.
What is with you? I mean, just because I didn't tell you were the best in the world, you're going to call the police?
Don't act dumb.
Okay. The phone is dead.
How do you know?
When you were in the kitchen, I tried to call my dad to tell him that I wouldn't be home. What is with you? Have you flipped or something?
Me? What about you? Pretending to be animals. That's all that spite.
You liked it before.
Yeah, well, I don't like it now. To tell you the truth, I think it's weird.
To tell you the truth, I think you're weird. Okay, so they go through this for a while. I think they could have cut I know they try to stretch it out to the 26 minutes so it can be a episode, but they really could have told this story in 15 minutes. So eventually, he has her tied up, and then she gets loose.
Where are you going?
What do you think? To get the police. And by lunchtime, you're back in the goddamn loony bin where you belong.
If I do like this, will that make it bigger? No, I think it looked better that way. Okay, I'm going to advance it forward because they go through a chase in the forest for a while.
Do him a big favor.
Actually, let me read some comments before I go forward. What a horn dog. I'll be like, who the F are you? Well, she did ask her who she was before he slept with her. Terrence says the Milkland Patrol will be in hot pursuit. And also, Looney Bin not heard that in a long time. I don't think y'all get pinged. We are watching this from a YouTube page. Yeah, that's what I figured. And I noticed it had been up for 4 years. So I figured maybe I'll be okay. And I think part of that is because I think the Hitchhiker used a lot of, like instead of using copywritten music, I think it uses a lot of, I forgot what you call it when it's non-copywritten music. Not Creative Commons. You know what I mean? The type of music you can use for free. So I think that's also part of why we're doing well today. K&M Lover says boobs. Yeah, I meant to not show that, but hey, we're all adults in this room. I'm pretty sure of it.
You can't be the murderer. Said she uses a knife.
I can't tell. Blue shorts, green shorts. They could have made a mistake. Isn't that what you said?
Please.
She escaped from the Raleigh State Mental Institution.
Yeah. I know.
Not quite. We're close.
Mind if I use the phone, sir?
Go right ahead. Last time I tried it, it was dead.
Well, it's worth a try. It seems to be okay. Captain Bigsby? This is Sally Harris. Yeah, the inman has been apprehended. No, I had to shoot her. She's dead. Yes, sir, I meant. Where are we, sir?
The end of Post Road.
The end of Post Road, Captain. Yes, sir, I'll wait here. Thank you.
I didn't realize there was guards over at Raleigh that looked like Bo Derek.
You really think I look like her?
Let me tell you something. I'm still as close to her as I am to you now, and you've got nothing to be ashamed of. Bob Ames.
Sally Harris.
Well, Miss Harris, I know it's early, but would you care for a drink?
Yeah, after what I had to do out there, maybe that's just what I need right now. Thanks.
Sure.
Tony Man called it.
Bob Ames had the same line for everyone. It was easy for him. But in the end, it was death that drew the line.
Okay. Tony Man called it saying plot swerve incoming. Knew it. Terrence says guards that look like Bo Derek, LOL. Tony C says it's always an escaped mental patient. Guard looks like Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't see it. I mean, they're both pretty women, but I didn't see Bryce Dallas in her face. Let me stop sharing. Here we go, and go big again. I think because I took so much time to go through the Hitchhiker. I think I'm gonna do Freddy's Nightmares next week. So I'll probably end up having to change the title and the thumbnail on this video because it took me I didn't think it was gonna take me this long to go through the Hitchhiker, but we actually had a really good time. He did look a little bit like Dudley Moore. Yes, he did look like Dudley Moore. Shout out to Arthur. That was the movie back in the day. So what did you guys think of those first 2 episodes of The Hitchhiker? He said, let's watch shows together. I will try. It's difficult because you know how the copyright thing works on YouTube. So I think I would like to do this again next Friday with the next 2 episodes. Hey, Nicole, I didn't know you were here. Nice to see you. Look how beautiful her profile picture is. She is gorgeous. She says, that was fun. Tony C says, great episodes to start a series. Terrence says, what was a lot of fun. Tony says, cool. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm glad that it went well because I was really, really worried about whether or not I'd be able to do it or not. I know or from what I'm hearing, that Twitch is a little bit more lenient on this type of thing, but I think this worked out really well. So I'm gonna continue that next Friday. Love Arthur. Liza is a legend. Yes, she is. As was her mother. And did she have a daughter? I wonder. But with that, I think I will say goodnight because I'm going to get ready to watch The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. I think it starts at 9 p.m. And I'm going to be live tweeting that on my What Did I Just Watch Twitter handle. So everybody have a good holiday weekend. If you're in the U.S., it's Memorial Day weekend, which kind of marks the start of the summer. Let me get this queued up. That's weird. Oh, no wonder. I'm in the wrong folder. Yeah, that's how I know it's time for me to go because the week is over and I am tired. Oh, let me read the last few comments before I go as well. Okay. Nicole says, yay, I hope to do this again next week. Definitely. Tony Man says, keep going until the wheels fall off. I will try. Hell yeah, Joe Bob time. Oh, you watch it too? I'm so... Nicole, follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. Tony T says, good night. Terrence says, nice hanging out with everyone. Have a nice weekend. I hear you. Thank you for hosting. Not a problem. I'm enjoying myself. Good night, you guys. And Terrence says good night. And with that, I'm going to say good night as well.
hey, 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 hey.